Earth 2020. Society is in ruins, and a virus runs rampant among the world's humble citizens. They are lost. In these dark times, three wayward nerds cross paths at the House of India and realize they are destined to be friends. And so they did. This is their story. The story of the Side Quest.
Tyrion's up there for me, man.
Tyrion's definitely up there.
Yeah, Tyrion has
You
been
know
the
who
goat.
he hasn't met that is a really consequential figure in the next seasons is the other Greyjoy.
Wait,
Yeah, he comes in super late, but he's the other Greyjoy.
oh, yeah.
Speaking of the Greyjoys, they received Theon's cock in a box, and the dad's like, "Oh well,
It's his cock in the box.
it's his dick in a box." And then his sister's like, "This is kind of fucked up. I didn't want it to go this far. We need to go help Theon." And the dad's like, "No, fuck you." But I
And then
think,
it ends with like her loading up a ship.
yeah, taking a squad to go get him.
Yeah.
I kind of like that was one of the things that I liked because I was like, fuck Theon first of all, but like at the same time like the idea of like even his sister who like basically like everyone's pushing him around and like whatever, it's like, oh, this and that, because he just wanted acceptance, which he had with the Starks, but whatever. But then even his sister, like who pretty much belittled this man to the point of all this, he was like, all right, I'm uncomfortable with this shit now. Like I didn't want to fucking mutilate the guy.
By the way, welcome back to the Side Quest podcast. My name is BJ.
I'm Matt.
I'm Luke.
Also, great t-shirt. We just watched
Yeah, you said y'all watched episode 1 or did you
episode
watch 2?
1 of season 2. It's dubbed, and I guess it's coming out weekly now because there's now 3 episodes on Crunchyroll.
Yeah, so it's probably dubbed. I think dubbed is probably out now, and then we'll go weekly. Sub is I think already like 2 episodes or 3 ahead.
It's 2 right now.
Yeah, okay.
It might be different today, but
I need to watch it because I missed out on it.
The first episode back is really good.
Good.
It's just like a family outing one. It focuses on them. It's no plot, which is I always enjoy
I'm
those.
pretty sure the next episode is the date where Lloyd's like, because
No,
That's this episode.
that was okay. Yeah, because I was gonna say it was like Yor goes through like the
She gets shot in the butt.
she gets shot in the ass and she's cranky and like all
Yeah.
like, and Lloyd's like, I gotta be a good husband.
I like he was
I gotta
like,
be-"
there's 873 options, and then she goes, I don't want
He's
to
like,
do that.
I can't sit in the car.
And
And he's like, fuck. That brings it down to like 63.
there's only 63 now. Yeah.
I
And
love
then she gets poisoned by the puffer fish, and she was like, I feel great now.
Yeah, because she's built up a resistance to poisons, obviously.
Yeah. And then in the morning, he's like, I'm so glad things are better now. And then it goes like the next morning, and she's like,
Yeah, because the poison wore off. It's such a cute show.
such a cute show.
But let's start this one off with, where are you guys in your current Cyberpunk playthroughs?
I have still not even met with Dex Deshawn.
Hell yeah. King shit.
since we last met, I have not played a single second. So
What have
there's
you
that.
been playing?
Oh, I finished in 14 hours Assassin's Creed Mirage, which is
Whoa.
the
I didn't
shortest.
That's the newest one,
it was
right?
out.
Yeah, well, I was like, I'm not gonna get it, and then literally I was at GameStop, and like they're like, hey, by the way, you had like a pre-order down. Do you want to pick this up? And I'm like, oh shit, yeah, sure, yes. Grabbed it and threw it on my desk, and it was like, I'll get to it. And then like a week passed. I'm like, I probably should play it.
Well, was it a
I've heard
good 14 hours?
It was very mid 14 hours.
Well, that's disappointing.
Well,
At least it was shorter than 100.
Yeah, well, the thing that got me, and that's why I went back to play Valhalla, because I was like, fuck, I need content. There's nothing here. And then I got to Valhalla, I'm like, oh, there's an abundance. All right, cool.
So they,
but no,
instead of being like, we need to make a more tailored experience, they were just like, don't put anything in the game, essentially.
No, they went with, hey, y'all remember Assassin's Creed 1? Both the good and the bad? Yeah, that. So
Damn.
it's a Middle Eastern city. It's
I wish they had said, did you guys remember Assassin's Creed 2?
Yeah, no, dude, fuck.
What are they going to do with Black Flag 2?
They did. It was called
What are they going to do
Rogue.
with Skyrim 2?
I mean, shit. When is Sex 2 coming out? Everybody says Sex is so great. When's the sequel?
It's already out.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
What's it called?
It's called Gay.
I was gonna say gooning. That's a reoccurring joke that happens, and BJ's not about it.
Because I hate that I feel like I planted this seed.
Because Carmen will be like, oh, it's something like, oh, they're just a bunch of like something, and then she'll go, they're a bunch of gooners. And BJ goes, oh my god.
I don't know if we told the story on the podcast, but me and Carmen were making that fucking puzzle one night.
And I was sitting there too, and not contributing to the puzzle because it just I felt like I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
So I just would sit there and hang out.
Carmen, we were joking around about something, and she was like, you guys are a couple of goons. Couple of gooners. And then I was like, stop. She was like, why? What do you mean? And then I had to explain what gooning was to Carmen, and now she uses it all the fucking time.
Explain what gooning is to the audience or no?
No. They can look it up.
Don't look
If
it
they're
up.
if they were able to find this podcast this deep into the internet, they already know what gooning is.
We're probably like a step above gooning maybe now.
Yeah, we're one step above gooning.
That's one of our first t-shirts. The Side Quest Podcast, one step above gooning.
Jesus Christ.
Yikes.
But yeah, no, AC Mirage, it's fine. Like, I think it's a more stealth focus. Like, I enjoyed it because it was all stealth. Like, there was little to no combat.
That's good.
Where it was, the combat sucks, but you know it's never been good. But like the stealth was great. It brought the Unity style of like, all right, so that's your assassin target. Fucking figure it out, and you have to. And there's so many routes you could do. Like you start watching their like pathing and all this crazy shit.
There was a lot of that in the PSP one. If you can believe it.
I still need to play that one because that I don't know if you played Revelations when you know you do all the Altair shit, and I think it's is it 2? Whenever when he starts having weird flashback visions to Altair.
That one is Revelations.
Well, because Revelations is you do it through Ezio and then you get those. But then there's I think it's in 2 or Brotherhood where like
I think it's Brotherhood
where you have like it's when you leave the Animus and you hit the bleeding effect hits and you're Altair again. And there was a thing where he meets the girl and he's like, oh, Altair, and he goes, oh, that's Altair's wife, and I was like, when the fuck did he get a wife? That didn't happen in the first game. And it's like, oh, it was a PSP thing. And I was like, oh, okay, so that's canon that I just can't fucking play, I guess.
You can now.
Oh yeah, I can now.
Now that you have a Steam Deck.
That is true. But yeah, no, I'm interested in because this is because Mirage was supposed to be DLC for Valhalla, more DLC for Valhalla because the main character is the antagonist from Valhalla. But it's like, oh, how did they get to where they were and shit? And it was from a new studio, so one of I think it's their first thing they've done as a studio under Ubisoft. And so if it does well enough, give them a bigger budget, let them go ham on a stealth focused AC game, because like I want them to go more in the routes of like the stealth style stuff of Hitman with the combat of like Batman. I think that would be the perfect AC game.
I agree,
but
I just want it to be more stealth. Like I love doing stealth shit. I've been doing a lot of stealth in Cyberpunk, which
I've been doing stealth in
what's that?
Metal Gear Rising. I finally, because when we played, I would just run in, and I didn't quite get the stealth. But that stealth attack from above is
sick.
I'd never done it once.
Insta kill
when we did, but it's the one where you put the sword on your feet
and then you flip off and stab through the top of their
head.
head.
Oh, it's so badass. Been playing that. I got so far because I was skipping all dialogue and all cutscenes, except the one I didn't skip was when he pulls up to Mexico in the car.
In the sombrero.
Yeah.
That's what's great about Platinum games. After the first playthrough, you just skip everything for, getting the upgrades.
I mean, I got super far. I only played for like 3 hours, and I was already at to the mission where you face all the mini bosses again. Where like in the room, so you face the chick, the dude who all his limbs come off, and yeah.
Remember that for the Let's Play, you were like, you were getting like more upset at that than the actual boss fight. Because you did with the 3 in a row thing. You're like, fuck, I hate this guy.
Well, because then if you fail it, you go back
Yeah.
to the very beginning of it. And I was like, what the
I just
hell?
hate having to fight Monsoon. That's the worst part of the game for me. And they make you do it twice.
Well, remember what's the Texan? what's his name?
Sundowner.
Sundowner. I remember feeling like proud when Matt like just was able to be like figure out Sundowner's thing, because the first time I played it I was like, what the fuck do I do?
Yeah.
And then you were like, you cut through his shield like I think like the first time, and we're like, oh, he fucking what?
Oh yeah, where you have to
Yeah,
like
you have to-
instead of in the slow mo
That's the
time.
only time in the game where they expect you to use the control stick to aim.
Yeah, no, it.
Well, they kind of drop it a couple times when it's like, hey, there's this wall that's sealed up and we can't get through using the computer. Use your blade thing to cut through all three of these locks that
Yeah.
are right above each other. And then they do that twice, and then they're supposed to know to do that in the middle of a fight.
Both of those are in like mission 1-2.
Yeah.
And then it's like you forget about it all the way up until the end of the game.
Well, because the only times you use blade mode is when you're just like fucking go ham at anything to break up something, and it's like the coolest shit. Not, oh yeah, precision slicing, I can do that.
Yeah. But New Game Plus is great because you get.
All your stuff.
Yeah, I immediately bought the Fox Blade.
Fuck yeah.
I mean, I didn't have enough money in the first playthrough, and then by the end of the beginning of this one, I had the 2 million points. Bought the Fox Blade, which has, just you can upgrade it a lot, and it has the special effect stat too. And then I have I'm keep on getting new move sets too. So just some badass shit where like I'll come out of a run, use a heavy attack, I'll do the slide, and then it slow motions as I kick them up. Oh. It's such a good game.
I love that.
And we get to meet Quentin Flynn
We do get to meet Quentin Flynn this weekend.
this weekend.
I'm beyond like jealous, and I hate that I was denied time.
Well,
off.
at least hang out with us Saturday night after work.
Oh, yeah, I'll come by after work. Yeah.
Very cool.
If he'll let us film him, I'm gonna make him do the Silver Hedgehog voice and say, "Luke, where are you? I wanted to meet you."
In the what voice?
Silver the Hedgehog.
Oh.
Yeah. No, and just and like have him say something about my work, and I need the "it's no use" line.
It's no use. You couldn't make it to Multicon.
No, yeah, I'll at least come by after work to I guess here just to hang for a bit, because I hope to God I don't work Sunday morning.
I mean, even if you do, you can sleep over, bring some extra clothes.
Yeah.
Just grab some extra clothes Friday, and I mean, even if you want, like, bring extra clothes, we'll wash your work clothes and then set you off Sunday. So
Sick.
I need to double check with Lee about sleeping over there, but he already knows we're coming over Friday night. And they should be coming too.
Are y'all?
Lee and Ezra.
You're gonna try to get? Is it basically Quentin Flynn, Karen Fukuhara, and Danny Trejo are like the ones you're for sure trying to
Those are
get?
the big three that
Yeah.
I'm really trying to meet. But
I'm for sure you're gonna ask about Yakuza with Danny Trejo.
that's the only thing I'm gonna ask.
And I definitely want to
Spike
ask
Lee. Like, so-
Karen about the new
boy.
Hayao Miyazaki film.
Oh yeah, because they got announced. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be like, so tell me how did your role in Yakuza differ from your role in Spy Kids?
He's like, nothing. I'm Kiryu's uncle.
you just full. Yeah.
Kiryu's Uncle Machete.
Yeah.
So Kiryu is also related to the kids from Spy Kids.
100%.
No, see, no, that's where it differs. It's instead that's Ichiban's story. That's because again,
Oh, so he's Ichiban's
find,
uncle.
He's going to find his mom. Find out the mom is her brother is Machete, and now he's living in Hawaii.
That's a realistic thing.
Yeah.
That could really be the plot of Yakuza 8.
And then
No,
then when Danny Trejo was drift racing with Han and Dom, he met Ichiban's mom.
yeah.
Or not met. That's where Ichiban. Yeah. 100%.
Throw every single thing that he's
Interconnect, please.
I never actually saw the Machete movie, which is from
There's a couple of them, isn't there?
I guess,
But,
but
isn't he also just Machete?
it's the same character
in
in
Spy Kids,
Yeah,
he's Uncle Machete.
Yeah, I'm saying that he's just Machete in other movies.
Yeah.
Well, no, anything from the guy who directed Spy Kids also directed these Machete movies, and then
Which is insane.
which he straight up said, like when they're like, "Oh, did you just like a nod to the Machete character?" It's like, no, it's the same character.
Also, how old is Quentin Flynn? Because the
He's-
photo that they use that I look up is like his IMDb like thing, and then I saw a more current photo, and I was like, he looks a lot older.
He's quite a bit older now.
I feel like he's
he's
like
like-
60 something.
I mean,
he was like 30 when I was watching videos of him on early YouTube.
oh, so he's only probably like
50 something probably. Yeah.
Plus, he was already voice acting when original Trigun was coming out. So
Who is he in Trigun?
Wolfwood, the guy with the big cross.
Oh, okay.
Was he back in the dub for the new one?
I don't know. I haven't
know
seen
Johnny.
any of
I know
the dub.
Johnny was back as Vosh.
Also, shout out to our sponsor, Dubby. I'm drinking it right now. We love Dubby. I drink it every morning. I say this every time. I do. I wouldn't be able to drive to work. I would have fallen asleep on the road and crashed and died. But thanks to Dubby, I get jitterless energy every morning. Use code Take It Sleazy at checkout. One word for 10% off your order, and it helps us out too. So thanks, Dubby.
Big shout out to W for saving Matt's life.
For real, dude. It honestly, for real, it's better than Monster. I like when I come home after like drinking Monster, and I'll be like nodding off on my way home because the crash.
Yeah, the crash from like a regular ass energy drink, even stuff like Celsius and whatnot, like it's less than a Monster, but I'm still like, all this shit's pumped with so
Well,
much
like Kevin,
garbage.
he would be drinking Dub and he really liked it, but he said like there's something
Maybe
about
that's
like,
why this is happening to him, is because he stopped.
oh, that's true. But he said that he like, and I get it. I do. There is like a punch that other energy drinks have, but the crash is just not worth it to me.
Well,
Yeah, I'd rather
it
have
goes
that
super
subtle-
high and then you go down.
Well,
super
yeah,
low.
it's just a punch.
Whereas like W's like, all right, it's a gradual.
Yeah.
You keep your energy and it's a slow down versus
Yeah.
like, oh, I'm gonna instead of a crash where it's like you shoot up to the stars.
Yeah.
All this energy and all of a sudden it's just fucking zero.
So we love you. Thank you, Dubby.
Quentin Flynn was born in 1964. He's 59. Born in
So he
Cleveland,
is 60.
Ohio. Yep.
Damn.
Dude plays a mean redhead.
Who's
Axel and
Oh.
Reno.
Yeah.
FF7. That was the one I remember seeing, and I'm like, all right, now you're just typecasting the man. Come on now.
I mean, it was both Nomura, so he was
Yeah.
probably like,
He's like, yeah. No, dude, That's actually something I want to specifically ask you, and I don't know if Matt, it's happened to you, but I've noticed recently
Yes.
a lot of Japanese like games are changing voice actors. Like Resident Evil changed their entire English cast. FF7 changed the entire English cast. Persona 3 is doing it. Like a lot of these
Mario just did it.
Yeah, Mario just did it
DC's doing it.
for.
James Gunn.
Well,
I'm just saying like.
Well, so
Broaden, I feel like a lot of things are changing their entire cast.
That I feel is different in the sense that that's expected of a superhero reboot thing. So we've had 3 Spider-Men.
Well, this is
How
DC.
many fucking Batman?
I mean,
How many
We've
Batman?
only had 3 movies with Gal Gadot.
I mean, how many Batman have we had?
A lot.
Like that's what I'm saying. Is like that's kind of expected of the superhero genre, but like.
Well, we've only now had 2 Ben Affleck.
Yeah, but he's like
3.
the 7th Batman. He was in Flash. He was
No,
in
it's more than that.
Oh, I forgot
Justice
he wasn't.
League,
I was
Flash.
thinking Batman vs Superman and
Justice League.
Justice League.
He's in The Flesh, which is what I call The Flash.
But you think it's like a trend to
Well-
be recasting voice
Well,
actors?
in the sense because in Japan they're not recasting them. This is like an English voice acting thing because like in Japan like FF7 it's the same voice actors who have been voicing these guys since Advent Children of Crisis Core, which is back in 2006. So anytime Cloud shows up in anything, it's the same voice actor. He has not changed. And like they don't make a big deal about it. Whereas like in the US, like when they were showing Bleach off for coming back, they're like, and here's all the same voices you love. Like that was the biggest draw. And I'm like, I mean, yeah, like I expected that. Not like I was gonna be very shocked if that wasn't the case.
Well, it's funny because Sonic has changed voice casts like 3 times in my life, and the one consistency is fucking Mike Pollock. He will never stop being Eggman.
Well, he started Eggman in Sonic X. He wasn't in the adventure games. That was
Yeah,
some
but
other dude.
Jason Griffith was in Sonic X too.
No, that was. I think it was. What was the game after? Yeah, Shadow the Hedgehog was the first game where they said just fuck it, unify the voice actors, and they were like, anyone from Sonic X has to voice these characters in the games now.
Did
And they
you
just
play
moved
the
them.
Frontiers update?
Yeah.
Did you finish it?
Yes.
Did you, BJ?
No, I haven't touched it
It's
because Cyberpunk. But
it was pretty good.
I watched a video last night about Supersonic 2.
Mm-hmm.
So that, like, what's your opinion on that? Do you think it's just like, oh, cyberspace shit?
Yeah, That's what I think. I'm not expecting him to go Supersonic 2 in another fucking game. But I think they might do the thing where they go, well, now, I mean, fuck it. Anything's possible. We can make him go.
Well, if he does go Supersonic 2 again, then that to me is like, okay, they're going to bring Hypersonic back.
That'd be sick if they did. No, it was fun, though. There's a remix version of I'm Here. But this time, instead of the other guy, they just got Kellen Quinn back to sing it.
Hell yeah.
And that's cool. The final boss is a lot better.
Yeah, I heard about that.
A lot better.
Hey, I have a little bit of a request for after we watch a movie tonight or before. I would like to play COD Zombies, all of us. It's spooky season. So last night we watched Halloween Town.
A Disney Channel original movie.
Classic Disney Channel original movie.
Never seen it before. It was funny. I mean, it's like, you know, kids movie, and the whole time we're riffing, and you know, the funniest part though was, like, you know, the grandma shows up and she's like, I got gifts for everybody, and then she pulls out a necklace and it's a pentagram, and
and they zoom in on it and she goes, oh, a pentagram.
thanks, grandma, and never talk about it again.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was literally like, it was one of those things where like, spooky shit.
Yeah.
Satan, right? Yeah, got it.
Yeah. If your parents saw that,
Oh yeah, no, that would have been like they
they would
already
have burned the VHS player.
They already didn't let me watch a lot of Halloween shit. Like I remember, what fucking movie was it? There's some Disney Channel original movie where it's the villain was the janitor from The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, who was into their mom. He played the villain who was this ancient evil vampire fucker, and they had this moment where it was this Edward Scissorhands looking dude, but he had like all these scissor hands, and he was like a ghoul. And I remember watching this, I'm like, this is legitimately terrifying. What the fuck is Disney doing? I cannot remember the name for the life of me, but I remember actually being like scared. Like Halloween Town didn't get me. None of their other like Halloween spooky movies got me. That one got me, where I had a legit nightmare about it, and I was like, what the fuck? This one was like actually scary. And then I find out it's one of those Canadian ones that they got like the rights to.
Yeah.
They just threw on Disney Channel.
That makes sense.
So there was another show they did called My Babysitter's a Vampire. That was another one of those Canadian shows that they got the rights to and just threw on Disney. Low-key liked that show. And I was
My
like,
hot babysitter is a vampire.
If we're going to play zombies, I request that we record it.
I'd be okay with that as long as my Xbox controller adapter can connect multiple controllers.
Okay.
yeah, we can figure it out.
Because if we can do that with this, then clearly that'd be fine.
Yeah.
But if it can't, then let's just play on the Xbox.
Sounds good.
So, yeah, been itching for some more spooky stuff. Really want to watch Ghostbusters. I love Ghostbusters.
You need to watch The Littlest Vampire.
Yeah. Did you ever watch Buffy?
Nope.
Okay.
It was again with my.
But you watched Teen Wolf.
Yeah, but that was like after the show was like done. No. Well,
Are they connected?
Fucking no. None of them are. Oh, okay. Well, Buffy's connected to Mortal Kombat apparently.
No, that's Sabrina.
Oh, Sabrina. Never mind.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Because
so all of those shows, like the only reason I got into Teen Wolf is because I watched Maze Runner, and I was just looking for more shit. Dylan O'Brien was like, oh shit, he's like a decent actor. And I saw that he was like a regular in this whole show, so I was like, oh sick. And then he played the like most relatable, funny character that I was like, yeah, I'll watch it for him, I guess. And then watched most of it. I think I stopped. I didn't finish the final season because that shit was ass. But I wanted to get both into Sabrina the Teenage Witch and Buffy the Vampire Slayer because I've heard great things about them.
Sabrina is, at least the one from the 90s, is really fucking funny. Like,
apparently the Netflix one they did, Sabrina something or other, that one was like good for 2 seasons and then was shit the bed hard because apparently it's in the Riverdale universe.
Yeah, they crossed over with Riverdale at some point.
Which Riverdale is the funniest show because of how serious they play a lot of their shit. I've seen like compilations of just such great writing that show has. Have you seen
something.
Have you seen that bit where Archie's in jail? And yeah, he's in jail and he's talking about like, or it's like we have to get back to school. Like we need to be in, or it's like something about school, and or he's talking about the highs and lows of high school football, and how it's like it
to that kid that's like, oh, I dropped out because I needed to sell drugs to support my grandma.
Yeah, he says not me. I dropped out in 4th grade and ran drugs to support my nana. And then that's when Archie goes. Then he like puts a hand on his shoulder. He's like, then you haven't lived through the highs and lows of high school football. And I'm like, this show is awful. I need to see more.
There's also a scene where a cult leader gets into a little rocket
Yeah.
and wears an Evil Knievel jumpsuit.
Yeah.
So the reason I've been on this at least not scary game. Well, I guess scary games.
Kind of spooky.
Yeah, was one of my favorite YouTubers, Jack Frags. He's a big in the Battlefield community. Was playing this game called SCP-5K, which is I've talked about SCP before, and people who don't know, SCP is like essentially it's just a wiki where people write about like all these what are those like creatures, those
Cryptids.
It's new age
Cryptid.
creepypasta.
Yeah, exactly. And cryptids and stuff like that. And there's games about it where like it's a facility that can secure, contain, protect.
It's
And-
control, but
Yeah.
different.
And so there's a game called SCP-5K, and it's really good. And in it, you're like, essentially, it's like the SWAT unit that they send in when like shit goes to hell, and they just kill everything and secure the facility. And you're going through, and you have to deal with like cryptids, and then just like set the nuke underground and get out. And it's really good. So I saw that. And I've just been itching to also play that because it looks really good. I mean, there's like just the gunplay looks really good and a lot of really good details to it. But have you heard of? I mean, you know, how much of Star Citizen have you heard of or know about?
It cost an entire house mortgage to buy a spaceship.
Spaceships are extremely expensive.
That's what I know about Star Citizen.
It's one of the I think it's the highest. I don't know
Highest
Kickstarter in
budget,
general,
yeah,
but at least
the most backed like, project. Yeah,
$550 million people have given for this game.
I also know that Mark Hamill's apparently in the campaign.
So this is what
Sir Davos is in the campaign.
So this I'm gonna read you. So they just released. They had CitizenCon over the weekend, which was them.
That just sounds racist. I'm gonna be honest with you.
CitizenCon?
I don't know why.
it sounds like something from BioShock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So CitizenCon just happened over the weekend, and they showed a bunch of new updates, like how they're like server syncing and like how they're able to do like real time physics cross between, you know, servers and stuff like that. And then they released a trailer for their single player campaign of Star Citizen, which is called Squadron 42. And they are now in the polish phase. That's what they're calling it. Now it's in the polish phase. There's no release date yet, but they dropped the trailer for it. I showed BJ, and I mean, Star Citizen
It does look amazing.
is essentially what like all the games like No Man's Sky and what Starfield, like people, all the promises and more what people wanted from these games. Like pure open world, you can fly around planets, you know, it can take like an hour to fly around a whole, you know.
You'd never see me play that shit then.
Yeah.
I'm never fucking touching that game.
Well,
That's
there's so it's
I know,
so detailed.
it's one of the, it's that same shit that I have about like Red Dead 2,
no, I got
where it's like how
Thank you, though.
realistic it gets, where I'm like, I can't, like, I shit on Red Dead 2's realism a lot, but like that's about the limit. If we go further than that,
it's crazy because like people play it RP. It's almost like
yeah.
GTA RP, where like some people can be bounty hunters and kill other people, and then people just play the game as like, oh, like you can hire me like just to be like a medic. Like if you were killed from bounty hunters, I will come kill the guys that killed you and revive you and like and stuff like that. And like that's their whole thing. But Squadron 42's the you know actors in that cast is absolutely crazy. So it's Gary Oldman, Mark Hamill, Mark Strong from Kingsman, Sophie Wu, John Rhys Davies, who is
That's Sir Davos, isn't it?
no, that's Gimli.
Oh shit.
Also in Indiana Jones, Liam Cunningham, who is Sir Davos, Ben Mendelsohn Mendelsohn, who is the bad guy in Ready Player One. Gillian Anderson, Andy Serkis. Like, it's such a stacked cast. It's crazy. And I mean, people were like,
I cannot wait to watch all the cutscenes on YouTube when it drops.
the cutscenes are incredible.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh no,
like,
I bet you they are. Like this thing.
I mean, even when they do the thing where it's like, oh, here's footage, like real game footage
Yeah.
of some guy walking through a space station, it's unbelievable. And then, you know, like, people complained about the facial animations in Starfield, and you know, they're not the best, but these ones are just like,
I mean, it better be with how much money they've been pulling.
I mean,
Like-
yeah, the game is absolutely insane. It's still in alpha, essentially, but
It's one of those games that I will look at from afar, and you cannot pay me enough money to actually boot it up and never play it. So that's where I'm at with Star Citizen.
what if no?
What do you
Like,
mean?
what if like, let's say it full releases,
If
and it promises everything. It promises and like keeps its promise on
Can I-
on more things that any game has ever.
can I fast
delivered
travel
for.
to places and not fly an hour?
Yes,
Then yeah, I'll play it. That's
Yeah.
what can I make it less realistic?
sure.
Then yes, I'll play it. I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna make it as little realism as possible, so I can just play my little space thing and then dip out once I'm done.
But I feel like that doesn't add up to your rule of cool.
Flying in 2 hours to a planet is the least cool thing I could ever think
Okay,
of.
well,
doing.
that's I'm saying, but like,
But that's what I'm saying.
you can fast travel because you have like light drive, like, you know.
Do I have to work to get a light drive, or can I just start a game with a light drive? That's what I'm saying. Is like, what is it like? The whole rule of cool thing. I'm like, yeah, is it cool? Sitting in a spaceship and just waiting while it flies is not cool. My ship is sick, but I'm like, okay, so it takes me an hour to get to the planet. Okay, I'm gonna fucking,
So
I don't know. I'm gonna go like case in point. I think Red Dead 1 is better than Red Dead 2, just not story wise, but like gameplay wise, because it doesn't do any of the mundane bullshit that I don't want to do. It's still a game. It treats itself like John Marston, when he picks something up off the ground, it's just a quick done. Arthur Morgan wants to go, "Oh, what is this real quick for? It's a can of beans. Oh, that's real sick.
What's
Oh,
the
this is
expiry date
yeah,
on that?
he's checking. Fuck that. Fuck that. The fact that Last of Us 2 gave me an option to not do that, and the options just like pick everything up automatically. That was turned on the second I booted that game up.
But even
I
when you don't
not-
do that, it's just click, 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 and it's all picked up.
well, like even like fucking
yeah, I didn't mind that.
like even then, like something as simple as that makes the game better for me. Like I want like it's not just like, oh, really cool. Like yeah, Starfield looks, or not Starfield, whatever the fuck it's
Star
called.
Citizen.
That it looks sick as hell. It's not my type of game.
Okay.
Like the harsh like simulation stuff. Like that's why I don't like No Man's Sky.
So I
Like-
mean, but if it was like a hack and slash DMC style,
Well, cause
if not saying Star Citizen,
Yeah.
but closer to that game, you'd be like,
oh, I'd buy like if Devil May Cry 6 and Star Citizen launched on the same day. I'm buying Devil May Cry 6 and Star Citizen's never touching any of my consoles, even if they launch a month apart.
okay.
Like yeah, it's not like the simulation games are not my cup of tea. Like I tried No Man's Sky, and the second it was like, oh yeah, you actually have to fly into the atmosphere of the planet. I'm like, I can't just fucking click and fast travel. Fuck that. No, I'm down. So I left.
The best game to have inner atmosphere flying shit is that one that Ubisoft made with the toys.
Oh fuck.
The
Starlink.
Star Fox.
Yeah, Starlink.
That game's awesome.
I don't like my thing with video games. I'm like, I don't need games to emulate real life. Like there's people like anytime like people talk about Red Dead, it's like, dude, look how realistic it is. I'm like, I know. That's why I'm not super hype on it. Like I don't want my games to turn like to be as like the fact that I have to wait
So
for
like games like Tarkov don't.
fuck no, absolutely not. I just doesn't interest me in the slightest. But like the fact that in Red Dead 2, you have to wait for your beard to grow. I'm like, no, just let me pick longer beard in the style option and then have it just be there. I don't want to like that's dumb. I hate that. Or at least like I do not like that kind of shit. because that to me is boring and stupid and dumb. I'm like, just let me customize my character I want. Let me do this how I want. Within the rules of your game, sure. Like, I don't want to just...
So how do you feel about VR games?
They're cool for like 30 minutes, then I'm done.
Well, that's usually the length of a VR
Yeah,
game.
there you go.
Yeah.
I want to try the Assassin's Creed one, and then
like
the
Isekai
Vader
like
Immortal.
stuff. Like the whole thing is like, oh, it's supposed to be like realistic and like
Isekai stuff?
yeah, like you're trapped in a video game. Like,
Oh, I was gonna say that shit's not realistic. That shit's the most power fantasy bullshit I've ever seen in my life. Meshuggah Tensei is probably the most realistic isekai, and I still don't like it.
But I mean, I was just talking about like the fact that like you're in the video game and you got to like hack and slash, and that's like realistic and stuff like that.
Well, like the most there's
any
one
sort of like push towards realism, you're not about.
because it to me it's limiting. Like I want to be limited with relatively, because I just don't want to win immediately. I want challenge. But when you limit me for arbitrary, like, well, this is how it would really be, and I'm
I
like,
agree
yeah,
that
but I'm not.
When it takes away time from having fun, then I'm not about that shit.
But what if we were all? I mean, we're going down super deep rabbit hole. But what if we were all like?
If we all got isekai'd into another
Yeah, like
video
what
game
if we were all just like plugged in and we're all in our separate areas?
Like Sword Art Online.
And then I'm like, oh shoot, like I got to go over to this town. You know, let's say it's not like old fashioned like video game. It's like, oh, you get like, it's a cyberpunk world or space. You know, so you hop in your spaceship, you get to turn on your tunes, you make your own playlist.
Well, if you're
in your VR and you're flying your spaceship,
that would be sick.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
the problem is, an actual video game with a controller is you sitting there for 30 minutes going.
Yeah, like that's the thing. If I'm the one, like if I'm having to press all the buttons and make sure my ship gets there, that's a whole different story.
But that's what I'm talking about. That's like VR. Like, I mean, there's VR games where you're like a mech pilot and you're like.
So give me a game. Give me a game.
That's not
a
what
game.
this is.
Like, yeah,
it's like an Xbox controller.
Yeah.
I'm gonna press, get in ship, go,
yeah,
and then hold it on go.
Star Citizen isn't. You can set that shit to cruise control and
not touch it.
And then just go get food in the kitchen. Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Like it, like
here's the real question: do you prefer a goofy movie or an extremely goofy movie?
Ooh,
extremely.
Okay, I'm among friends here.
Yeah, dude, extremely is great.
Even though clearly
they're both great movies.
They're both great, but the best part about a goofy movie
Is the power line stuff.
is the song.
Yeah.
That shit hits so hard. Bump,
If
bump,
we
bump,
look
bump
into
each other's hearts.
It's so good.
Such a banger.
No,
but extremely goofy movie is so good. Even, I mean, he went to fucking college so he could earn more money to provide for his family,
And he found love.
Yeah, it's honestly Monsters Inc. Or Monsters University.
Yeah.
It is.
I liked Monsters University. I actually did like it.
Because then he joined, it's the frat, and then they have to compete with 100%. And it's X Games. I mean,
He on
my
X Games
like
mode.
10-year-old, 12-year-old self was obsessed with that.
Anything with extreme in its title,
Well,
you're
dude,
like, let's fucking go.
Anytime in school when they would be like, okay, draw yourself now. Draw yourself in like when you're 25, and then draw yourself when you're 50. Whenever it would be like the next jump from where I was, I would draw myself with a goatee, with a hat that had X Games on it. I mean, seriously, if we ever go to California and get to, see my home where I grew up, we still have all of these, like, all my childhood drawings, and there are, like, at least 5 in there with me, like, with a skateboard and the X Games hat. I fucking love that shit, dude.
In a way, you did prophesize freeboarding in Zion. Then.
I hate you.
BG.
Hit it!
Who knows? I might just cut it in.
That
At least
would,
the song.
bro. No, that would be the best edit.
That's a banger. That's
It's a good song, but I can't associate it with anything but you walking up a hill.
Bro, imagine just like hit it and me just the whole video in full.
The worst part of that is when I first put that up, like the freeboarding, like the company Freeboard, like saw it because I tagged it, and they're like, "Dope video," and I was like, "Let's go!"
I'm basically sponsored.
I'm basically.
All right, Mom, I'm gonna drop out of school and be a professional skater. I have what it takes.
I've gone pro, Mom. I don't need to go to school anymore. I'm gonna hide in the attic and play video games while you guys think I'm at work.
Do you think that like in 20 years time that there will be like, because there's right now like kind of like magnet schools or other stuff where like you can train for vocations, that there's going to be like a career like a career track or like a university track for like any like internet stuff, like
100%.
YouTuber,
Guarantee you they're
or like
definitely.
or like esports.
Just wait for all
Esports is the most likely, in my opinion.
No,
because
wait.
Well, that's where money is. If the college is like, oh shit, we can make money from this shit, they'll do it.
Yeah.
No, they 100%. If it's lucrative enough and there's ways to get around, they're gonna like any of these like washed up YouTubers who can't make like millions of views anymore and are scraping by with like 50,000. They're gonna be the ones in college.
Well, have you seen
teaching
that
a seminar
video of
the high school.
the high school?
kids.
Yes,
I was
so
just
glad
about to
you're-
bring that
yes!
up.
Okay.
And it's like the only team in this high school that made it to.
And it's like it's obviously someplace in like Idaho.
Yeah, but the only team in their school that made it to states was the Fortnite team, and it's like 4 kids in Minecraft hoodies
And
just
like
walking
pajamas.
through the hallways as like the band plays.
Yeah, and
shit.
then there's girls like with the batons and they're doing stuff, and then the band's there and they're just walking through like. I love that video.
just trying so hard not to make eye contact
Yeah.
with anybody.
Well,
That's
because
so good.
their whole thing was like, oh, we play video games, so we don't want to associate, or we're like, well, the lose, and all of a sudden, all this attention on them because they're the only team in school. Drew, can you imagine the flip side is like, oh, you want to play fucking football, dude? Fuck, dude, put the pigskin down, grab a controller, dog. Get on this Fortnite grind. That's what this school's all about.
I do, however,
we've been to states 3 times.
I think it is really sweet that the high school wanted to recognize
yeah.
them, though.
Oh no, yeah, that like,
But it's just their reaction to it.
Yeah, for sure,
bro.
Yeah, I mean it's crazy that the high school was like, all right, everybody, like we're gonna not be in class right now, and we're gonna
support our Fortnite team.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, it was like everyone was in the halls. I mean, like every student, hundreds of kids were in the hall lining as the Fortnite team walks through the hall.
You know the actual sports teams are pissed as fuck. They're like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
Like fucking what, Fortnite? And
I don't know, if I was another, I would have been like, hell yeah, dude.
See,
that's Brian. He's the goat.
bro. That man,
He's weird as hell. He really likes High School
He
DxD.
smells like ass, but he's really
He
good.
loves High School DxD.
bro. He's a fucking weeb, but like that man can crank 90s like nobody's
Yeah,
business,
dude, he's cracked.
Oh my god, it's Justin.
Bro, no, it's like. No, all the girls are like, who on the Fortnite team do you want to go to the dance with?
Yeah, all the cheerleaders are trying to fuck the Fortnite team.
It's like honestly, Eugene would be the best. He's got a weird cleft chin, but like he's kind of cute.
He wears his pants up to his tits, but I think that's kind of hot.
Dog, no, my dad wears his pants up like super high, and like
These are my pants.
You don't touch my pants. You have pants. I have pants. Don't touch my pants.
So sorry.
Your mom tries to rekindle the marriage.
Don't touch my that.
Don't touch my pants.
I'm so sorry. Oh my god.
He goes to get a rectal exam.
That's my butthole.
You have a butthole. I have a butthole.
This is my butthole.
oh fuck. Oh shit. Have we told that story on the pod?
I don't think we need to.
We have for sure.
Okay, because holy shit.
It probably was like the episode after.
Just the direct week after that, yeah.
Yeah.
Because we definitely talked about that joke about speed grooming your sister.
Hurry, we get home. We can see you. We can see Luke's sister. Hi, you.
You're so much of your age.
Speed run grooming any percent.
So yeah, guys, leave a like.
You know, I haven't laughed this hard since the other night when Carmen's been so sweet and trying to help BJ get on some free insurance.
Oh my fucking god. This was just tell it. It's hilarious.
Which is, I mean, we care about you, BJ, so we just want to make sure you get on some of that free Obamacare.
I appreciate it.
But Carmen, she's going through it and she's trying to help him, and she was like going through it, and she's trying. I'll preface this before. She was trying to say that BJ had no dependence, but when they were talking about it, she's like, and he was like, she was like,
Her wording was, "It should be pretty easy because you're alone." And Matt at this time was trying to take a bite of applesauce, and it just reached his mouth, and he spit it all over the counter.
and I was like, that's so mean.
Yeah, because your lonely ass
Yeah,
isn't going anywhere.
It should be pretty simple because you're alone. Oh man, I was like crying, dude. I was like, that's Carmen, that's so mean. Like, why would you say that?
So one of those moments you're like, all right, fuck me, I guess.
Yeah.
Could mean you didn't know what she meant. And I was like, she's trying to say that you have no dependence.
I was fully expecting her to pull some shit like, well, yeah, BJ's not dependable. Like, that's what I was expecting the joke to be. Not to be like, not to be on the same level. You're gonna die alone.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
Just I was like, oh
it should
shit.
be pretty easy because you're alone and you don't have anybody.
And then last night we were watching Ted Lasso, and we were just, I'd seen like 2 episodes of the show, and we watched like the 3rd episode. They've seen it like 5 times. And
To be fair, it's really good.
yeah, it's pretty solid. But I was laying on the couch watching it, and Carmen was like really trying to convince me to watch more of it. And we finished that episode, and she was like, "That was pretty good." And I was just like, "Oh yeah, that was pretty. We have the same opinion."
Wow, I just watched that, and I realize how my opinion of this has just formed, which is that I like it.
On the 5th viewing, it really.
I've determined that I really enjoy this show. What about you, BJ? How do you feel about it?
Surely the same as me.
There's no way that you can feel anything else other than what I feel. Oh. Good times. Good times. Game of Thrones, though, man.
Yeah, you finally saw the Red Wedding.
Yeah, it's fucking shocking.
Last
it came out of
episode,
nowhere.
Luke and I were being so cryptic about so much. There's even more cryptic shit.
Well,
Yeah,
It's
there was
like-
a point where they told me to leave the room. I was standing in the kitchen. They were like, "Hey, go somewhere else." And I was like, "Okay." So I came in here for like 10 minutes. And
I think it's
"Come
about
back
the
down."
shit that we were talking about when we told him to leave the room.
It was different.
Is happening this season, though.
So, okay, I'm gonna be vague as shit, but
Because John just got back to Castle
okay,
Black.
So what we talked about.
Yes.
It's back in black.
Oh fuck yeah. What we talked about. So the reason that the showrunners of Game of Thrones got to make, because George R. R. Martin was apparently very like strict on, was like, I'm not letting anybody make this unless they know my material. And he was like, he literally was like asking questions, all these different people, and he finally did. His question was about what we talked about, and the only people to guess the reveal were apparently the showrunners of who were like D&D or whatever their actual names were, but they guessed it. And
Wait,
he's like,
Wizards of the Coast? D&D?
well, it's Dan and something or David or it's like the 2 showrunners' names is both start with D.
Oh, I
it's
thought
like
you
call
said
them D&D.
Wizards of the Coast.
Yeah, no, but the showrunners like guessed the twist, and they were like, and then apparently that was when George R. R. Martin said, they get to do it because they actually got it. So that's why it was like, oh, that's kind of fucking sick, and it's why it sucks that they made season 8, but
Yeah, shit's about to pop off.
I'm very excited.
Especially because we now have there's a story arc that before wasn't that exciting and now has become exciting, which is the Bran arc.
Yeah.
At first it was just like, oh, Bran's a cripple and he's working through it.
Holy shit!
Yeah. Now it's like, oh, he's having some dreams and he's like a warg, but he can also put Hodor to sleep.
Bruh.
Just working through it.
Working through it.
In that
Oh,
scene
fuck.
where like Sam, he like comes up out of the well, and they're like, "Who are you?" And he's like, "Wait, you're Bran. Like I know you, and you're Hodor." And Hodor goes, he goes, "Hodor." He's so proud of himself.
I love that you can now kind of see like whenever it comes out on PC, when you go play Final Fantasy 16 again, you're gonna be like, that's just Game of Thrones shit. And that's like anytime Sid pops up, you go, hey, you were Theon's boy.
Yeah, there's been a lot of times watching it where I've been like, Final Fantasy 16.
I mean, like straight up, Clive is Jon Snow.
100%.
It's aggressively like he's Jon Snow. I forget his name, but there's a Hodor in Sid's little party. I wonder what Dion's like, because he's not Joffrey. Although I guess I don't know what Dion's like a Game of Thrones equivalent would be.
Yeah, I think Dion is kind of like Tyrion in a way, because it's like
just not short and not gay gay.
Yeah,
yeah.
But it's mostly because like his dad's an ass, doesn't like trust him, just keeps giving him orders, but really he's got his thumb on the pulse, kind of thing.
Where would you put Jill? Where's her kind of Game of Thrones equivalent, or does she not have one?
I mean, there's a lot of stuff that parallels with kind of like Arya, because Arya is on this whole revenge kick. You know, she goes through this whole arc where she gets broken and she, you know, has to go and take revenge. She takes a life for the first time. Their sword play is kind of similar. Like they both have like that fencing style.
Yeah.
Like very thin sword.
To me feels like it's like an Arya Sansa mix.
Yeah.
Of like, oh, but she's like a true highborn lady, all this shit, royalty. But then also it's like, yeah, the Sansa arc work, or the Arya stuff kind of works too.
Man, poor Sansa. He just keeps getting tortured.
It gets. I will tell you,
dog,
it gets worse. And like you thought that. I mean, Joffrey's terrible, but right now she's getting a reprieve. I actually think
right now,
so where we're at is her family just died, and she has to marry Tyrion, who is the member of the family that just killed.
Granted.
But I actually do think if she was like looking back years from then, she would have said it was probably worse
later
being with Joffrey. Well, between Joffrey and being married to Tyrion,
Tyrion's the better
Joffrey
option.
Was worse.
Absolutely,
because Tyrion is so kind to her.
I think if she would open up to Tyrion, she would have a much better life because Tyrion would be able to guide her in the right direction. Tyrion's like very adamant on, I'm not gonna have sex with this girl. That's fucking wrong. And he's done a lot.
Can you tell us your feelings about Shay?
I liked Shay in the beginning, and now she fucking sucks. Because it's like Tyrion has to marry Sansa. Like that's not something that he can avoid. If he tries to, he will definitely die, and so will Sansa probably.
Like it's aggressively like you would expect Shay to be cool with it because like
because she starts off being like a pretty rational person, and then it's like, oh, you're gonna marry that girl, huh?
Well, also like. It's like, oh, Tyrion's like her lover, and like she actually like is relatively friendly with Sansa. I'd be like, well, this is clearly the best outcome. But no, then, she's like a fucking.
Then after
jealous...
their wedding night, Shay like looks under the covers to see if there's cum or
the blood cum, and then
the bedding ceremony.
She sees nothing, and she looks over at Tyrion, and he's like, "Of course, I didn't bed her." And then from then on, she just still is a bitch.
Yeah.
And it's like, what else do you want, you stupid cunt? And then Varys is like...
She wants to be married to Tyrion.
And then Varys tries to get...
Yeah, Varys does the best thing for her. He's like, here's a fucking sack of diamonds. Go anywhere else where you're not going to get murdered.
Your kids will be taken care of. You'll have this is enough money to buy a house. He essentially... till you die.
He gives her like...
In today's money, it'd be like $1 million. It'd be like $1 million or a couple $1 million.
Yeah, he basically gives her lorddom anywhere else but Westeros, and she's like, no, and chucks it on the ground.
Then
literally,
she confronts Tyrion, and Tyrion's like, I actually didn't do that. And also, to be fair, Varys offered her diamonds, and if it was Tyrion, it would have been gold.
Exactly,
just because Lannisters,
especially for being like, oh, I know my man. I feel like she could have figured that out because she does figure things out earlier on that's much harder to get.
Tyrion would have tons of gold, and that's a Lannister trait. and but Varys gave her diamonds. So
Shay, like, I feel like that's a constant with
dude,
Game of Thrones.
you're gonna
is
keep on hating Shay.
Yeah, fucking fuck her.
Yeah,
I never hated Rob's wife like you did. I just felt like,
Rob
I
is-
hated Rob's wife because of Rob.
well, that's fine, but then I just hated Rob at that point. It didn't have anything to do with that hot lady he was with.
I mean, no, because I'm gonna be real with you. If I was Rob, 100% I'd be with her too.
But
Are you
But
look-
it's
you
so,
see her?
Okay, this is the dumbest thing. It's so easy in that day and age. If you're of that high class, you just marry who you're supposed to,
And then you have your consorts.
yes, you have your concubine, the person that you bang and that
Yeah,
you
but
actually
Rob
love.
is an honorable dude.
No,
who's
he's
gonna
not.
I know he's not, but like, no, I don't know. Rob.
I mean, his first big move is going behind the other army's back,
And sacrificing
sacrificing 200 men just to capture
2,000.
Jamie.
2,000 men to capture Jamie. It's like
yeah.
no.
Well, and
It's,
that's what I think that's what I like about like when you compare Rob to the rest of the Stark children. It's like, all right, Rob is pushed immediately into.
I mean,
into
he's
power.
not honorable because he didn't honor his fucking.
Well,
His promise.
well, like he's immediately because like, all right, my dad died. I'm now in charge. He's immediately thrust into war because his fucking
Here-
mom.
But
Hear-
the thing
hear me
is,
out.
that's
He-
the best move that he makes.
Well, like, and then because his fucking mom.
Gave up Jamie.
Yeah.
And well, then here's the other thing. If
Well, not
if
even that.
Rob didn't kill,
Well, not even that, because she fucking took
kill-
Tyrion.
Well, if Rob didn't kill
That
the lord of one of his bannermen, and then he lost half of his troops, 10,000 troops,
they would have been fine.
they
in
wouldn't have
Red
been
Run.
attacked at the Red Wedding. Because at the Red Wedding, all the rest of his army was
Yeah,
destroyed.
completely decimated. The biggest loss there at that point would have been Greywind, in my opinion.
The entire like
The dog.
Yeah.
the dire wolf.
And then they stitched the direwolf's head onto.
That's fucked.
It's so.
And Arya
It's-
sees it.
bro. It's so fucked. No, dude. In the books, the way they kind of present it, because like, is that Rob is in over his head. Like, yes, he's like the heir, technically. But it's one of those things where it's like he didn't want to go to war, but like, the Lannisters killed his dad. He's
Arya and the
in over
Hound.
his head all the time. He has no idea what the fuck he's doing, and then his mom shows up and is like, hey, like, it's basically immediately starts to like coddle the dude, and he's like, fucking, like, I can lead, I can do these things, and then she lets Jamie go.
Yeah.
Like everything.
Like it works out because I love Jamie, and then he gets to be with Brienne of Tarth. But like,
Well, I mean,
it's
if she
still
had-
super fucked what she did.
If she hadn't let him go, he wouldn't have gotten his hand cut off and started this character arc. So that part I'm cool with. But from the Stark's perspective, that's fucked up.
Yeah, for sure.
But
in general, like, I honestly, like, that's the thing that I like about Game of Thrones is the characters are fucking flawed. Like, Sam notwithstanding, there's not a perfect character.
Sam and Ned are the only. And the worst part is you can say that Ned's flawed,
fucking
but the problem is he's flawed because
his
he's
flaw
too,
is that he's
too-
perfect.
Yeah, yeah. That's
dog. So what? We're just gonna the fact that Ned went and cheated on his wife. You fucking asshole. He brought a bastard home.
Yeah, and that bastard is a fucking god.
Yeah. That bastard's one of the best characters in the show.
he
Thank
thought
God
he
he
was gonna
cheated on
die.
his
He was
wife.
away for war. I mean, war back then would have taken years, like years. They were away.
You would have been away from home and thought you would never see
it
it
would take
again.
them like 2 months just to get
Just to get
to the
home.
battle.
And then it's like fucking 9 years of you're sitting in a pit.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you're stabbing, like you're mud and blood
Yeah,
and guts,
for
and like
years.
you're seeing death and destruction, and it's like, oh, the one happiness I get is this.
Oh, we won the
tavern
war.
wench.
I'll be home in a year.
Yeah, like that. Yeah, no, 100%. But like, I still like. And honestly, no, Ned. I have one gripe with Ned, but I can't talk about it. And then, no matter what, I'm gonna be honest. I
It
think
is fucked up that Ned's bones never made it back to the crypt.
Super fucked.
I think my least favorite character is Robert Baratheon.
Rob? You mean the king?
Yeah, because like constantly, dude is just the whole time, just pining after, like his first love, is a complete bitch to Cersei. Which granted, Cersei is a bitch.
I
She deserved. But,
I
like-
think he's flawed, but he's not an awful person.
Well, he's not a bad
I
But
agree
person.
there's
with that.
other people who are
Yeah.
flawed and awful people.
I
That's
thi-
what I think is interesting. Is his flaws is like he's a drunkard. he's still in love with the first love, which is like that's a hard thing to like hate somebody or like like throw beef at somebody for is they're still in love with this person.
Well, the thing is when you
now he has to, and then he's like hates being the king.
I'd be down to talk to you about it in a bit when he's not around.
BJ, leave the room.
Yeah, BJ, can you leave the podcast for a second? But like the thing though is like he pines after a woman that he loved with like none of the facts to back up as to what happened. Which, granted, it's secrets bullshit and Game of Thrones politics all aside, but like, dude went to war like for her. Like that was the whole point of him being a king. Was it's like, oh yeah, he literally was like, hey, yo, fuck everyone before, because he was literally like, oh,
I can back that 100%. We've talked about me and my revenge film. Like I'll fucking burn the world.
But that's
for
the thing.
I love.
But that's the thing. There was
But
no
the
need.
fact that
There
he
was
did
no.
that-
But there was no need for revenge.
I mean, the need for revenge is he caused the longest summer in recorded history. That's he got what he wanted and he saved the world.
Yeah. Maybe. I've been.
I also have been liking how in this new arc, in this new chapter, that everybody that was like pro Joffrey is now like fuck Joffrey.
Yeah,
Like
because all it take like that's the thing.
like even Jamie like he's like,
Tywin has been like spanking his ass and sending
but
him
then
to bed
like
without
Jamie
dinner.
is like, oh, like it's my son and I'm support the king, and then he
Jamie
gets there.
comes back and he's like, "My son is a cunt."
Yeah, and he's like, what can a Kingsguard do with one hand? And he's like, well, it'll make for a real challenge now. And then he was like, oh, here's the book of all the Kingsguard. What does it say under Jamie? Nothing. Huh. And Jamie's like, what the fuck?
It is the thing where
I'm
like
your dad.
I'm
If
your
he dropped that
uncle.
bomb- I wish someone would just say it.
I mean, everyone, Joffrey knows it. Remember, he goes up to like his mom and was like, they've been saying a lot of gross things about you lately.
It's like the most known like
true.
secret in all of Westeros at this point. I mean, shit. What was it? Remember the fucking riot happened because someone was like, "He's a king born of incest. Throw shit at him," and like all this shit. Yeah, like it's like the most like well-known secret that like just that like some people just don't want to talk about because they're like, shit.
Also, during the Red Wedding, seeing Arya and the Hound and all that, and the Hound actually like taking her away from all of it.
He's like the most misunderstood character in the
In that moment, they became Joel and Ellie to me.
It's true because like at first she was like, I hate you,
Yeah, just
and
wait.
then she witnessed the trauma and she's like, okay, like
Man, just wait
you're
till
not
you
the
see
problem.
Ellie.
You're not the fucking problem.
I was gonna say, just wait till you see Ellie,
What do you mean?
the actress is in the show.
Oh shit! Wow.
Wait, what?
The actress who plays Ellie in Last of Us is in Game of Thrones.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
Sorry, I was thinking video game.
You're like, what the fuck? Ashley
I mean,
Johnson?
Joel, I saw Joel.
You saw Joel.
And he is a god.
Wait, what? Oh yes, sorry, I'm so confused because I'm still thinking about the game. I was like, what?
No,
yeah, Pedro Pascal.
Pedro Pascal's Last of Us, not the games.
That's that's
Bro,
she's
fucking
that
We were
crazy.
watching it, and last night was the first time he shows up.
Oh, and I was like, you're gonna love this.
Tyrion, Bronn, and Pod go to meet him, and his army shows up, and they're like, "Where is Oberyn?" And they're like, "We don't fucking know. He dipped ahead and went into the city."
He's been here for a couple days.
And then Tyrion's like, "Fuck, we gotta find him right now." And then they go to the whorehouse, and he's got like his wife, assumedly concubine,
His consort. Or
He's like
whatever.
choosing whores, and he's like, "This one isn't shy. Let's take this one." And then the guy's like, "Yes, very well, good choice, my lord." And he's like, "You're coming with."
Oh, he's like, you can all leave except you. And he's
And
like,
he's like, "I'm not for sale, my lord." And he's like, "Everybody that works for Littlefinger's for sale." And then he grabs him by the dick, and he's like, "Oh." And I was like, "That's not a prince, that's a king."
Bruh, my man is aggressively just I'm here. Well,
it gets crazy. I mean,
he's
The speech he gives to Tyrion is pretty hard too.
I think what was it? Because I remember Pedro Pascal talking about it, that like, because in the books he's like that too, but he was like they wanted me to play up the fact that he's this hedonistic, just all about pleasure kind of guy, and he wants to live his life
He's a
how he
fiend.
lives. Yeah, and like he takes what he wants, and he'll get it one way or another, but like And I'm like, and Pedro Pascal's talking about it, I'm like, he's fucking, what a guy.
I also, they don't mention a lot that the fact that Marcella is in Dorne married to one of the princes.
Yeah, but that's also because it's like Tyrion spun that out of a bluff to figure out who he could trust, and then he fucking followed through with it, which was insane.
That's the one thing that I love about Tyrion is like he, because
it would have made more sense to be like, okay, I'm gonna go with one of the people that I can trust. Like, it would have made more sense to like be like, he was like, Littlefinger, I need you to go sort this shit out. And if he followed through with that, but no, he was like, I'm doing it. I'm gonna do it to one.
You gotta also know, like, even though he's like, well, I obviously care about my niece or whatever, but he's also probably like,
I mean, each one was like, he was prepared to
follow through.
Each one of his plans was like this. Either one of these is gonna be good, or it's gonna work out.
You gotta admit though, some of that was spite for Cersei, or just like,
I mean, the whole plan was spiteful for Cersei.
But like he's like, fuck you. You can't see your daughter anymore. Go eat a dick.
Yeah.
And just like sits back in his
and then there's that one shot of the little girl on the boat like crying as they take her away.
And then, bro, that was also when Joffrey was at his, like, it was just a piece of shit where like Tormund, the little brother's crying.
There was
and
also
he's just like, Tommen, right? And he's like, why are you crying? Don't be a bitch. And like Sansa's trying to be nice, like, well, when we left, my brother cried. Joffrey just turns, was he fucking royalty?
Was he the king?
Was he the king? No. And just like, you're like, do you want to fucking punch
Sansa just had a really good moment, by the way.
What was that?
Night that she saved from Joffrey killing. He comes back and he's like, this necklace is the last thing that I have in my family. I want you to have it for, sparing me, and I want you to know that
it's the guy. So when it's on his name day, when he was named king, he had like dueling,
like tourneys,
and there was that guy who was like showed up drunk, and he like was gonna drown him with wine, and then Sansa saved him. He comes up to her and is like, hey, I'm gonna give you this, and he's like, no, don't give me this. And there's like, I'm the last person in my family's name. It used to be a great house, and now it can live on. Like,
yeah, he's like, if you wear this necklace, my family will shine at least for
brighter than it ever will with me, because it's gonna die with me, and I'm like the fucking the jester, the court jester now.
But the thing that I compared that to was in Berserk, when Farnese is like at her lowest point, and Shirk is like, okay, well, you can do magic now because your whole perception has been completely broken. Sansa's kind of going through the same thing, and now she's had that one little moment of, oh, I helped this man, and now I think Sansa is gonna rise, hopefully, from this.
Well, as long as she's stuck in King's Landing, she's kind of fucked.
Yeah, but I think that feeling will stick with her somehow.
So, it's gonna get crazy. I mean, you're off a lot this week, and
I'm very interested because when you finish Game of Thrones,
you work tomorrow, but Thursday and Friday.
No, I'm off tomorrow, and then I work Thursday, and then I'm off all weekend.
Cool.
See, when I feel like you're gonna go down the rabbit hole like you have with Cyberpunk with these lore videos. Where you're gonna like sit there and go, what was the point of this guy? Because I hear his name brought up a lot. Like I'm actually interested because I didn't watch it, the House of Blood. Because
House of Dragon.
Whatever the fuck it's called.
Sorry.
No, you're good. Because I think the book that was written about it was called Fire and Blood, and then they changed it to House of the Dragons on HBO. I've been like going through like the lore videos about like all the like famous Targaryens. And I'm like, I just want to like, because there's like Rhaenys, there's I think there's like 3 Aegons or 4. I don't know how many fucking guys, because there's Aegon the.
There's so many.
I know there's like Aegon the Unyielding, Aegon the coward. There's like Aegon's like a common. That's just like
fourth of his
one of their family.
That's
names.
Bob. That's Bob the second. I'm Bob. This is my son Bob. Like that's kind of shit. You had the Mad King, which is the one that Robert and all that shit going through.
And then there was Aegon the Last Dragon, right?
Isn't
yes.
And then what's the one that's Maester Aemon?
Aemon is at the wall.
Yeah. Also, just a sweet.
He's sweet old boy.
He just saved John's ass,
and he also let in Gilly.
Gilly and her baby.
And I love though when he saves John's ass. He was like, Did you sleep? Oh, he like confessed to sleeping with a wildling, and they're like, "You fuck, that's it. You're sentenced to death." And because there's that guy who got kicked out of the
Kingsguard.
Kingsguard. He was the not Kingsguard, the Night's Watch.
Well, no, he's in the Night Watch now.
Yeah, he was kicked out. What was his name?
Gold Cloaks. The maybe it's the Kings.
Well, the Gold Cloaks are like the Lannister, like...
No, Gold Cloaks are
no.
the police of King's Landing.
Right, okay.
So they're like, yeah. But he got Tyrion, when he was a hand, kicked him out, set Bronn to be the head of the Gold Cloaks. And so he's there, and he's like, you gotta sentence him to death. And they're like, shut up. And Aemon was like, if every person that...
Yeah, if every person that snuck off to fucking a whorehouse got killed, we wouldn't have a Night's Watch.
The wall would be manned by headless men.
Mm-hmm.
Literally just being like, just like blindly staring out at the whole crew, just be like, just blind but staring right in their souls, going, I know every one of y'all. What was the funny thing
that Sam said about like sight that I was cracking up about? Oh, he was like, I can see like. Anyways, it
was like, can you write a letter for me? And he was like, yeah, I'm better at writing than you are seeing, or something like that.
So I'm very interested to see where you go, because like you've been going a lot faster than I thought. I don't know why, because I did not expect him to be like. Yeah,
well, usually it's like when he's off, it'll be from like 6:30 to 11.
They also finally sent out the fucking ravens. They sent out all the ravens at the wall to everybody, just being like, the fucking zombies are coming. And the first person they show that with is Stannis, because he's about to kill Sir Davos, and then Davos is like, you're gonna need me for that.
And even the red woman was like,
she's like, we gotta stop, we gotta go fight zombies. This is fucked up.
Don't kill Sir Davos. There's the Lord of Light still has a use for him.
The red woman is fucking wild. Like,
it's crazy.
She put a leech on a guy's cock.
Yeah,
earlier.
On what's his name?
The
blacksmith boy.
Yeah,
Gendry.
Blacksmith boy.
Gendry. Yeah, she seduced him, and
it
also
worked.
the whole time they're making you think that they're gonna kill him, and they're like, I can't believe you're gonna do that to that
poor boy.
That poor boy. And then she takes off her clothes like, I'm poor boy.
I'll be like,
I wish I was that boy.
Shit.
Be like, damn. I wish it was
that for
me.
some leeches? Sign me up.
I'd be like, damn.
I'll take a leech on the dick.
Yeah, you're sitting there, be like, man, I wouldn't want to be him. That happens, be like, fuck it, I want to be him.
Yeah,
damn.
for sure. And then he's like all butthurt about it.
It's pussy.
Yeah.
Davos saved him though.
Also, I've been loving the part where he like reads the letter. It's his daughter.
How's Marjorie and her stuff been going? I don't know where you're at with them.
She's got Joffrey in her
pussy.
Yeah, and it's
right between her tits.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
God, I've never been more jealous of Joffrey.
I also really liked when Brienne of Tarth went to her and her grandma, and they were like, "Oh shit, it's you!" Like they instantly knew who she was and respected her. I loved that.
And then they were like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I couldn't protect Renly." And they're like, "Renly was a pussy."
Renly was a pussy. You're awesome.
Well, I love the idea, because I guarantee you that it's because they knew Renly was, one, vain as fuck and like low key a pretender, and then two, they probably knew he was gay.
Yeah,
that's another one of those.
I mean, they know about Loras.
Yeah,
Marjorie knew from the second that she walked into his tent that time. She was like, "So if
I'll get my brother."
Yeah, you want him to?
She was like,
to
"You
get
want him
up
to
for
fluff you up real quick?"
Yeah. What? That's
just think of my brother. That she like literally said.
Like, I can turn around, you can pretend I'm him, and I was like, "Holy shit,
jeez."
No, dude, I love how they don't shy away from like stuff like that. Like, obviously, Renly and Sir Loras being together, but like, even then, they just show everybody in like any walk of life that they can, whether it's the most fucked up shit or like just like simple, like, look, that's just how they is, you know.
Dude, like, Sam's story is so fucking painful. Yeah. Because I'll reveal a little bit of this. He goes back to his dad, and it's rough, dude. It's so rough. Damn. Like, you think like there's all these people that have really hard stories, and like, oh my, Arya's whole family got killed, and it's like all these other things that are really rough. But when Sam has to go back to his dad, it
legitimately,
it's so
like,
fucking painful,
Jesus,
dude.
Yeah,
because then he was like, when he talked about when he was getting to the wall, he's like, my dad told me that either I could go to the wall,
Either go to the wall
or on this hunting trip,
or there's going to be an accident on a
your
hunting trip. And
or at least that's what I'll tell your mother.
yeah, like it's like that's what I'll tell your mom, and I'm like, holy fuck. That's the thing that got me whenever he was like, yeah, it was literally like, either we're gonna go hunting and there's gonna be an accident, or you can go to the wall, and you're like, at first it doesn't register. Like, what do you mean? He's just gonna fucking kill him.
Yeah.
And he's gonna blame like a fucking wild deer or some shit.
Yeah.
And then like I was like, fuck, it's fucked. No one has had really a good life, realistically, in Game of Thrones.
Fucking Night City, brother.
Yeah, can't have shit in Westeros.
Mm-hmm.
Even in like the other like places like where Daenerys is, it's like she's doing all right, relatively speaking.
Yeah,
But then there's like other cities that they keep on talking about that, like when like Pentos, where they're like, just go to Pentos, and everyone's like, I just want to go. Let's just leave here and go to Pentos.
Yeah, Pito sounds pretty.
And
sweet.
it's like, it just seems like a beach resort town, or like Myrrh. I think that's the other one. Pentos, or where it's just
where's Danny been with y'all, or have they pushed back?
so
She's
they-
been liberating slaves.
yeah, okay.
And we just
thing.
got the
Dario
character.
Naharis is
Grey
a new
Worm?
guy now.
Is it?
Did you get Grey Worm, or what's his name?
Yeah.
Grey Worm, yeah.
Yeah, he's been there for a while.
Okay, yeah.
Torgonudo.
He's great.
Grey
I
Worm's
love him.
great.
He's pretty cool. I wish Dario Naharis had not changed actors.
It's just so abrupt. You get 2 episodes with him in season.
I mean, yeah.
3.
It's,
And then he's a background character in one more episode when they're like standing waiting for the other slaves to come out. And then the next episode they change. And then it's like, oh, that's Dario Naharis.
Yeah, because he's doing the thing where they're trying to like hold up a sword to see him and Grey Worm are holding up a sword, and he's like, "Well fought, Dario Naharis, who you are definitely,
Who you have always been and will never change again.
you look normal."
I definitely prefer the second actor over the first.
I don't. Especially considering how fucking muscle bound the first dude was,
Fair,
and they go to
yeah.
this little twink,
Fair.
and they have this loose ass armor on him to make it seem like, oh, maybe he has muscles, but it's like, no, he's wearing like long sleeve shirts.
I think I just prefer the like how he looks like head wise.
He doesn't look like a pretty boy.
Yeah.
He doesn't look like a natural person, that would exist in that time frame. Nobody has like that clean shaven of a face.
Yeah,
and that
I guess.
beautifully straightened blonde hair.
Yeah.
That's not a highborn.
That's why I like him.
But that was the thing. Well, I think it doesn't help that I've also seen Deadpool before I saw him in Game of Thrones.
Same here. I was like, shit.
So when I saw him, I just
it's
went
Ajax.
Well, no, I saw him and went wig. That's the fucking worst wig. Mostly because, and that could have been actual hair they fucking got, but like,
Yeah,
I've seen that motherfucker bald. I
Yeah.
can't look at him as anything other than like just shaved head. And so I look at that and I'm like, Jesus. And yeah, muscle bound wise, yeah, like he looks better that way. Just switch the heads and we're good. Or just have the other guy fucking bulk up for the role.
Yeah, just give him some fucking protein shakes or something. He's not trying at all.
Yeah. Yeah, they definitely just pulled a guy off the street. Like you got the role.
Yeah, they looked up guy that makes podcasts and just picked somebody.
Are you gonna
Average carpenter.
Yeah, you gonna watch House of Dragons after all this?
I mean, that's where I started, essentially. I watched, like, an episode... I watched, like, 2 or 3 episodes with Matt and Kevin, and I was like, this is fucking fire.
And blood.
But,
I'm fucking funny. I'm gonna leave. All right.
So
this is
that's
the
a
last
lot
episode
of
me.
a lot of Game of Thrones talk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We definitely whenever we finish, I want Millie on to talk like a full spoilery like just
We
talk
could
the
do
whole
that
thing.
and a Berserk. Just throw it in for a 2-hour podcast, like a 2.5 one.
We could make 2 out. Well, the thing is, I don't want to like dilute because one, if we do the Berserk one, I can't be on it because I'm not caught up.
That's true.
So, which are you caught up yet? Because I know Millie is.
he's not.
No.
Damn.
You saw that.
I saw that and I saw This Is My Eclipse. I fucking died. I knew she wasn't going to be able to hold it.
So did
I
I.
fucking
So
knew
did I.
it.
I have to admit, she did text me, and she was like, I don't think I can wait anymore. And I was like, don't.
And then she's like, How do you think Matt will take it? And you're like, I don't give a fuck.
I was like, bad.
not well.
My replies were don't and bad.
No, dude, I would love
This
to get
is
like
my
a.
eclipse.
I mean,
I like yours. Just hee hee. Just seeing this.
I also,
like,
by the way, that you low key just kind of dox BJ because the picture of BJ,
Yeah,
is the
picture I
shirtless-
took for the tattoo guy.
yeah, it's
I
just
forgot that's even on Instagram.
yeah, bro. It was big shirtless, just him like
I'm literally T-posing
just shirtless T posing. That
in front of my fucking Switch games,
Yeah.
which makes it worse somehow.
bro. I read
Okay,
the text.
well, at least it's
and I'm-
gone. The
yeah,
images.
I read
It was a
the
story.
It was
I
a
read
story.
the text. And I'm like, oh, that's funny. And I look over to the contact and I just see BJ, and I'm like, fuck it, Matt.
I never even thought. I mean, it's been that since. I mean, that was right when you moved in, like within a month.
Yeah.
And so that's like I've just always known
Oh, yeah,
that to
when
be.
you moved in,
BJ's.
wasn't it in October last year? When was it?
It was in December, so
December.
It
we're
was
almost
literally
to a year.
right before we were like,
Yeah.
"Hey, we're going away. You need to move in."
Yeah.
Dude,
So-
it's almost been a year.
Yep.
Hell yeah, dude. How's
Yeah.
it feel?
Pretty good.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah. I'm not looking forward to being alone that whole time. I can do like a week.
I'll be here. At least I'll come over here at least while they're gone.
Hell yeah.
I can. I mean, it's a
But
short.
you're an introvert though, right?
Yeah, but like
It's an introvert that still needs to occasionally have people
I do
around.
need occasional interaction.
I mean, with most people and personalities, it's not one or the other. I mean, for sure.
You're
I mean,
just,
with
you just
you-
lean more.
You're a stage 5 clinger.
I don't think so, man.
The other day,
Hold on. I agree. I always thought I was pure blood extrovert, except when shit's like, "Hey, let's go to fucking Nashville," and I'm like, "Fuck that! I'd rather be home with my boys."
That's the thing.
I get that.
with
But-
there's no way I want to. Or like, it's like, hey,
Well, you're not like
one
a
person
party
invites
type-
me. Well, it's like one person. Like, I love parties.
Yeah, but you don't want to go to Broadway.
I also don't want to. If somebody says, "Hey, I'm throwing a party. You and Carmen are invited," I don't want to do that. I really don't. There's been so many times where people invite me to stuff. I'm like, I don't want to go.
Oh, look at Matt being invited to all the fucking parties. Ooh. So popular, Matt.
I
You're so
don't go.
popular.
Okay,
I'm kidding.
I don't go.
Well, it makes you feel any better. I get invited to parties at my own house, and I'm not even included in the people that live in the house.
That was so fucking funny. It's just, yeah, Matt, Carmen, and Lance's house. You're over here like, all right, fuck me, I guess.
What was the example you were gonna give of how
Oh, yeah, sorry.
hardcore of an extrovert I am?
Not extrovert. Well, clinger. The other day,
Ouch.
I stayed at the hotel because I had to wake up the next day to get my car fixed.
Oh,
and I was
really? Really? Really?
And
I hadn't. You didn't even tell me that was gonna happen. I just thought you were out, and I was like, "Well, I hope you." First of all, this is also coming from a person who one day it was like what weekend was it? Where I woke you up and I was like, "Hey, hey, we're blah blah blah," and I talked to him the day before about like, "Hey, this is what we're gonna do," and he's like, "Yeah, wake me up." I woke you up. And you're like, oh, you went back to bed, and then it was like 7:00 at night, and I was like, I really hope BJ's not dead, because I woke him up, and so I was like, hey BJ, I'm just checking to make sure you're alive.
I just fell back asleep that time.
100%. And then I just was making sure. So okay, I'm not gonna let BJ tell
No,
the
no,
story.
no, no, wait, I know.
It has to come from my
I need
perspective.
to hear BJ's first, and then you can
But
defend
don't
yourself.
make it sound like I know about any of the plans that you had.
I'm not. So
You did. You're like, well, I was gonna go do this. I didn't know this.
That's fine. But I was just like, I'll stay at the hotel.
Klinger! How dare you?
I'll wake up early. I'll go get my car fixed because it's in Cool Springs. It's
Yeah.
gonna be close. And hold on, let me get to the text.
He's got receipts.
So I was just like laying in the hotel bed playing my game.
Also,
playing
mention what
Cyberpunk.
time it is.
It's like 1 or 2 a.m. at this point. Let's see. I'm just trying to find the one that's just Matt. Well, anyway, I'm laying there playing games.
Here, if you want receipts,
No, I've got them. Here it is. And
Klinger.
Sunday, October 22nd, 1 a.m. exactly. I'm laying there playing my game. Matt texts me, "What you up to?" And I said, "Just got done cleaning out my car so I can take it for service tomorrow. What about you?" Matt said, "Drinking." And I said, "Noise." 1:41 a.m. What are you doing now? I said, playing Cyberpunk. He said, where you at? I said, hotel. Figured it'd be easier to stay here and get the car done in the morning. He said, oh ho. I said, yeah. And then 12:28 p.m. What's getting done to your car? Oil, filter, brake pads, and rotor. He said, you going to your parents tonight at 3:03? Said, I'm already here.
That's an hour and 41 minutes between texts. There's nothing clinger about that. I said
41 minutes.
That's a long ass time. If somebody was supposed to be at my house,
comparatively, that's like a minute in Matt text time. All right, because usually you just won't fucking text.
But once he
minutes.
said, "I'm gonna stay at the hotel," I said, "Oh," and I went and I dropped it. I thought he was
until the next day. When you were like
curious.
When are you coming home?
No, I said curious. I said I never said that text. I said what's getting done to your car because I was curious. I didn't know if you fucking abandoned, if your car broke down. Who the fuck knows? I just said oh, and then I was like okay, cool.
Matt,
are you going to your parents' house too?
Matt,
I sent 2 texts.
Matt straight up
two fucking texts, and you think I'm a clinger?
Matt's hitting you with the AU up.
That's so rude.
Moon's huge tonight.
If we both look up, we'll be under the same moon.
It's like we're already hanging out.
That's so rude.
Now you can tell your side.
Yeah, well, I think he yelled his side. He's good.
Verdict?
I don't fucking know. This is some roommate shit. That's what this is.
I didn't wait. He usually gets home from anywhere from 11:32 to like 11:40. That's the usual.
Look,
I didn't bat an eye.
This is your.
I didn't bat an eye. What am? I'm like, hey man, what's up? And he's like, I'm cleaning out my car. I thought, oh, he's cleaning out his car at the hotel, and then he's on his way. Like he was doing a deep clean. Because he's taking his car in to go get service. I was like, cool. Okay. Drinking away. I go, oh, like maybe he's on his way home. Or who knows? Maybe he's at a bar. I don't fucking care. What are you up to? He said, just playing Cyberpunk at the hotel. Oh, he's spending the night over there. He's done that before. That's okay. I'm drunk and curious what you're doing. Boom. He tells me that. Don't text him the next day. I said, I wake up around 12 because I slept in because I don't give a fuck about BJ and what he's doing because I live my own life. God damn it. I said, hey man, curious. What's getting done to your car? Maybe he needs a ride. Maybe I'm just like curious as to what's getting done. He says all these things. And I'm like, dang, that's a lot of things. Oh, are you going to go see your parents today? He says, I'm already here. That was at 3. I texted you at 12.
And then when I get home, he's waiting on the porch.
You do the same thing when Lance starts barking up a storm. You open the door and you're like, what is it? Go get it. And then all of a sudden he runs out to your car and I'm like, oh, BJ must be home. And so then I just let Lance in and said hi to you. That's how that went.
Could you imagine?
Clinger my ass. Fuck you. Damn it.
No, Matt, you know what you have to do now for the bit is if he's ever late again, don't fucking text him, but stay up.
Just lock the door.
No. Stay
Just
up.
wait by the lamp. And just,
And just lock the
Where
door.
were you at? No, yeah.
No, just lock the door. He doesn't have keys to the house.
Nobody has
see
a
if-
key to this fucking house.
See if I care.
No,
You just
bro.
have to push the sock out
No, bro.
Sock?
You got it.
in the door where the lock is supposed to be.
Yeah, that's true.
No, Matt, you got all the lights turned off, super dark. You're just waiting in your gaming chair, and you just turn the light on, and you got to be wearing like the bathrobe or like the nightie.
The hair curlers.
Hair curlers. Like, where were you? What's her
No,
name?
because that would just confirm
Yeah,
what BJ said. Clinger.
bro, these fucking legit heated. I've never seen Matt this like legit, like kind of upset.
I care, okay?
I know.
This is just some typical roommate shit. I wouldn't consider
No. This isn't roommate shit. This is BJ and I shit. That's all it is. BJ last night was like, we were talking about how like our relationship is, where it's like about how one of us would like say something and then the other person be like, and she's ugly too.
Yeah.
Or like, what was the specific?
It was that TikTok audio where it's like one friend is complaining about something, how another friend wronged them, and then the person she's complaining goes, and also she's ugly, and then the first person goes, I don't think that's warranted.
I feel like it's usually BJ. You're the she's ugly.
100%.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's what I said. Matt's the extreme positivity, and I'm extreme negativity, and we meet in the middle and become one normal person.
That's exactly what you said.
Yep. It's just one of us is a little bit clingier than the other.
Thank you for watching the Side Quest Podcast. My name's Matt. That's Luke and BJ, and fucking take it sleazy. God damn it.
Don't you say I lied.